Hey, what's up everyone? For this video I will be discussing the record weather taking place across this world. Right now outside in our area it is in the 70s at night, and it's supposed to be about 90 degrees not only tomorrow but through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's supposed to be 90 degrees to 91 degrees every day, with the real feel being 96 to over 100. It could get over 100, like 102 to 105 as the real feel, which is pretty warm for May. I mean, I remember back in 2011 or 12, it was, I'm not going to state his name, but he, there was this person in my, it was either 11th or 12th, I don't know, but I think it was 11th grade. He stated it's 90 degrees in May, and that was a big deal. It was like, it was May 1st and it was 90 degrees, and that same thing happened this year. So there's been record cold and record warmth this year. Also in some countries there's still some snow taking place, and I'll discuss that in a few minutes, but well, a few moments. And there, I remember them saying that it was 90 degrees in May, and that was back several years ago. That's what one of the students said, and we were all like, yeah, it's like, because it was so hot. We were like, man, how warm is it outside? And he said 90 degrees in May, and it felt like summer outside. And it still feels like summer right now. It feels like, which at our current trends, what we've been experiencing, since we were so cold in April, but so warm in the majority of March, and up and down in February. So in one of my earlier videos several months ago, I predicted what was going to happen based on AccuWeather and Weather Nation and Weather.com's predictions. So I would say, I mean, what if we could experience our summer-like temperatures now in May and June? And some people are saying, like, well, what will we be in July and August since we're so warm right now? And some people are stating it could be the hottest summer ever for areas in central United States and southern United States, like Tennessee and places, and here in these areas it could be really, really warm. And it already is. It's supposed to be the real feel is supposed to be in the upper 90s and over 100 for the next 4 or 5 days. So definitely feeling like July and August. But the thing is, I mean, what if we have our warm spell now in May and June, and we cool off in late June to July and August? What if we cool off then? So I'm going to see what happens. So based on previous trends, what if we cool off in July and August? Maybe not. It could be super hot then. I don't know. It could be even hotter than it is now, since we're going to be in the 90s and feeling like 100 and possibly above all of this weekend and next week. So we'll see what happens. So the heat records have been broken, and it's still climbing. Las Vegas broke a record of 103 degrees. So let's see what else is happening. Denver, Colorado they crushed the record temperature. They hit 90 degrees for their 4th day in a row. So April was the coldest in 20 years. And since April was we were like 17 degrees one day in April on a Monday. So we'll see what happens. Looks like this Mother's Day weekend, and by the way, happy Mother's Day weekend coming up for everyone. I'll do a video wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day. Hopefully I'll get to do the video. So I hope, I'm just wishing you all a happy Mother's Day ahead of time. So we've broken a lot of records across the United States. We've had 3 seasons, basically. They said 1 nation, 3 seasons, depending where you live. Let's see what the Weather Channel says. 1 nation, 3 seasons, depending where you live. It could feel like winter, spring, or summer this weekend. So let's see. A frontal system will bring wet and mild conditions associated with spring weather to parts of the Midwest and Northeast this weekend. South of this boundary, however, it will feel like summer with record highs possible all across the area. North of this front, snow will make it seem more like winter in portions of the Rockies. So they're going to have snow in the Rockies. So it's still very cold and very snowy there. A battle of the seasons looks to be shaping up this weekend, and depending on where you live, it may feel like the middle of summer, or that winter has returned, while others will experience the wet and mild conditions of spring. The contrast in temperature and weather is associated with a frontal system that will be draped from the northeast through the Midwest and into the west. This system will be the boundary between cooler than average temperatures north of the front and warmer than average temperatures to the south. Below, we take a closer look at what this setup means for different areas of the U.S. So, to start, spring storms will bring big temperature differences. I know we had storms and heavy rain yesterday here. An active weather pattern is expected from the parts of the northern and central plains and into the Midwest and northeast through the weekend. Showers along with a risk of strong thunderstorms will be found along the frontal system draped from the Great Basin and central Rockies through the Midwest into the northeastern areas into early this week. The greatest chance of severe thunderstorms and damaging wind gusts and large hail as well on Saturday will be from the northern parts of Illinois and Indiana into southern Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even possibly up into New Jersey. These are where the severe thunderstorms will be. And the temperatures will range anywhere from very cold all the way up into the 90s and feeling over 100. So it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag of everything. This system will also result in sharp contrasts in temperatures. Cool to mild conditions will exist north of the boundary from the northern plains and Great Lakes and New England. Highs there will be generally in the 50s, 60s in the weekend, with 40s in possible areas and parts of the Great Lakes on Friday for highs. These temperatures are near to below average for upper Midwest. Warmer temperatures will begin to return for them on Sunday. So, in addition to all this craziness, they stated, meanwhile, just a few miles south of the front, highs will be up to 20 degrees above average. Temperatures will climb into the 80s and 90s and feeling like 100 and above in many areas. And in some cases, a distance of 100 to 150 miles will bring a temperature change of 25 to 40 degrees difference. Chicago will likely see highs in the 50s through the weekend, while St. Louis will have afternoon temperatures in the low 90s. More like summer across the south. So our area, and it's going to be very, very warm. It's going to feel like late summer, like July into August. An upper level ridge or northward bulge of the jet stream, along with a surface high pressure, will remain over the south through this weekend, resulting in increasing heat and humidity. Temperatures will be 10 to 20 degrees above average. Some places they stated will be 25 degrees above average. We should be in the 70s, maybe the low 70s, and we'll be in the 90s. So it'll be very warm. That will take place from Texas, the Texas Panhandle, into the southeast, as well as northward into the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic Valley, as well as the Tennessee Valley. This will correspond to several days with widespread highs in the 90s across the south. Given that it is still early to mid-May, several record highs may be broken through early next week. The following cities will be close to setting new records. Current records are in the parentheses. So for Friday, St. Louis will be 91 degrees, Little Rock 91, New Orleans 91, and Nashville 90 degrees is the record. In Nashville, I do know that we will likely break the record. So our highs in Nashville are expected, according to Weather Nation, Weather.com, and AccuWeather. The highs in Nashville are expected to be, which is a little south of here. We live in the northern area, but south in Nashville, it will be 91 degrees on Saturday, 92 degrees on Sunday, and Monday is going to be 93. So it looks like we could break records in Tennessee as well, but Saturday and Sunday and Monday will be in the 90s as well. Some places reaching higher than that. The area of high pressure over the south will also keep the frontal systems to the north continuing the stretch of mainly dry conditions, with the exception of Florida. Areas from the southwest into the Mexico and Colorado area will see temperatures cool back down to closer to average over the weekend. This will bring an end to the stretch of 100-degree temperatures in places like Phoenix, but we will still have very warm conditions. Back to winter in the Rockies. So, in the Rockies and areas in that location, much of the West, including the Rockies, have experienced warmer than average temperatures this week, making it feel more like late spring or even early summer. But now a new storm system has pushed into the region late this week, resulting in high temperatures being up to 20 degrees colder than average, especially Friday into Saturday. So in the higher elevations of the area, highs will only reach the 20s and the 30s, while lows will be in the teens and 20s. Even in the lower elevations of western Montana, Montana and much of Wyoming, highs will be in the 20s, and the 30s and 40s are expected. So, in addition to the chilly temperatures, the low pressure system and its moisture will result in weather conditions that are more like winter in these areas, especially in the higher elevations, but some lower elevations will experience it, as I just mentioned. So the result will be numerous rain showers, high elevation snow into Sunday, late season snow expected and to accumulate in the higher elevations of Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah. Some locations may receive more than a foot of snowfall through the weekend, up to 2 feet, and possibly in western Wyoming and northern Utah. The National Weather Service has issued winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for some of the areas in higher elevation in western Montana and western/northern Wyoming, including Yellowstone National Park. So, this is the latest information from the National Weather Service. So, I will keep you updated as these systems progress. There's a lot going on, a lot happening, and like I stated, I'll try to bring the latest. So, basically, it's going to be snow, cold weather, teens and 30s and 20s for some people, and very warm, hot, mild conditions for some, for late summer-like conditions for some, 90s, feeling like upper 90s and 100s for some areas, and other places, very wet, very rainy, and soggy conditions. So it depends on where you live, and just let me know what the weather's like where you live. So much love, stay as safe as possible, and this is the latest weather conditions and forecast outlooks. Peace. Bye.